let's talk about being busy. I mean, we all say it, right? But what if we could take that chaotic feeling and actually turn it into the most productive, most fulfilling time of our lives? Well, that's what we're going to dive into, how to build your own personal heyday, starting today.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, just take a second with this question. Seriously, what's a recent moment where you felt completely, totally alive? It could be anything. That first sip of coffee in the morning, solving a really tough problem at work, or just laughing with someone you love. Got it? Okay, hold on to that feeling. It's the key to everything we're about to unlock. All right, first things first, let's get on the same page. What even is a heyday? You might picture some golden age, a time way back when, but we're gonna look at it in a whole new light. So, the dictionary will tell you it's this one single peak, the moment of your greatest success. But here's the thing about that definition. If your heyday is just one peak, it kind of implies that everything after it is just downhill. And that's a pretty heavy way to look at your life, isn't it? And this right here is the idea that changes the whole game. Your heyday isn't some far-off destination you have to struggle to reach. No, it's something you build piece by piece, day by day. And it's built from those very moments you just thought of, the ones that make you feel genuinely alive. So, how do we actually start building this thing? Well, we start by looking at the raw material we've got to work with, our own busyness. And it turns out there are really two fundamentally different kinds of busy. I mean, we've all been there, right? That feeling of being pulled in a million directions at once, where you just feel like you're gonna snap. But here's the crucial insight. Busy itself isn't the enemy. It's the kind of busy that makes all the difference. And this is where it all starts to make sense. Think of it like a spectrum. On one side, you've got the building blocks. This is the good kind of busy, the stuff that's actually shaping you, that's helping you become who you want to be. And on the other side, energy drains. This is the busy that just sucks the life out of you, leaving you with nothing to show for it. Let's talk more about these building blocks. This is the work that has real meaning. It might be tough. Heck, it might not even be for you. It could be helping out family or a friend. You might not even get it perfect. But you do it because, deep down, you know it has value. It's adding to the person you're becoming. And then, you've got the energy drains. You know this feeling. It's that kind of busy where you're just staring at the wall thinking, why am I even doing this? It's work that has zero connection to your values. And that feeling of pointlessness, it is absolutely exhausting. Okay, so now we can tell the difference between the two types of busy. So what do we do about it? Well, now we get to the practical part, your playbook. This is a super simple strategy for handling whatever kind of work comes your way. This playbook breaks everything down into 3 buckets. You've got your important work, the really low-value stuff you just have to get done, and then the completely draining, no-value work. So let's break down the strategy for each one. First up, the important work, your building blocks. The strategy here is really simple, but it's powerful. You just lean into it. You embrace it, you push through the tough spots, because you know it's worth it. This right here is the act of building your heyday. Okay, next, what about that low-value work? You know, the stuff you gotta do but you don't really care about? The tactic here is to find a silver lining. Any silver lining. It doesn't have to be some noble cause. Maybe it's just the paycheck or a new skill you're picking up along the way. Find that one concrete gain and use it as fuel to get through. And finally, for the no-value work, the stuff that gives you absolutely nothing back. The advice here is pretty blunt. Get out. Just do your best to get out of there. Because if you don't want to be there, chances are everyone around you can feel it anyway. It's a lose-lose. So start planning your escape route. Of course, I know you can't always just get up and walk away that same day. So if you're stuck for a little while, reframe it. Treat it like a science experiment. This becomes a learning experience. You recognize what this feels like. You spot the red flags, so that next time you can avoid a situation like this much, much more easily. So, there we have it. We know what a heyday really is. We get the 2 kinds of busy, and we've got a playbook. Now, let's bring this all home and talk about making this happen every single day. This is probably the most important thing to remember. Your heyday isn't some award you get at the end of your life. It's the grand total of your days. It's what happens when you consciously decide, over and over again, to fill your life with more building blocks and fewer energy drains.
And it all comes down to this really simple daily practice. 3 steps. First, acknowledge. what kind of busy am I in right now? Is it a building block or an energy drain? Second, analyze. What's the real value here for me? And third, act. Based on that analysis, either lean in, find a tangible gain, or start planning your exit. Acknowledge, analyze, act. That's it.
And that's the question I want to leave you with. When you wake up tomorrow, what kind of busy are you going to choose? Which building blocks are you going to put in place for the person you want to become? Because the power to build your heyday, it's right there, in your hands, every single day.